like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community. They can post tips and tricks, or they can post requests, which I'll personally review, and then I'll share with everyone. I'd like to thank everybody subscribed so far this month, despite the trials and tribulations. Thanks very much, and hope you enjoy the content. Now, on to the show. As you can see, the title says the Pro Game Secret. Okay, so we're going to use Defold, which is as the ultimate game engine. So game developers increasingly frustrated with engine bloat when a simple 2D platformer requires a massive download just for the engine core. It limits your audience. The project explores the efficiency of the Defold game engine. Okay, so Defold is obviously it's open source. It's completely self-contained engine designed for both 2D and 3D excellence. Unlike bloated frameworks, Defold is written in C++, ensuring your game maintains a consistent frame rate on legacy hardware. Okay, so as you can see, this is another title there. Unity is too big. That's obviously true. So this engine utilizes the Lua scripting language to balance some of the use with low level speed. This allows for rapid prototyping without sacrificing the final execution performance of the binary. So I took some screenshots here of the actual game engine, and we'll take a look at that as well, and you see how intuitive it is. One of the standard features of the is the instant hot reloading capability. You can see your code changes in real time within the running game, which dramatically reduces the development iteration cycle. So as you can see, the Defold engine, for example, it's ultra light. For example, usually the standard engines, they're heavily bloated, and scripting, obviously it uses high speed Lua, and the others uses some complex C# or C++. So meaning you have to constantly compile, even just a small little change, and it's built for speed. Obviously, this instant reload. The other ones have long compile times. Default is true cross-platform parallels. From a single code base, you can target iOS, Android, HTML5, macOS, Windows, Linux, and major consoles without significant architectural changes. So that's obviously going to be very important, especially if you're a solo developer like I am. The technical architecture uses the collection proxies for memory management. This gives you absolute control over asset loading, enabling seamless transitions and no loading screen experiences. To stay close to the metal, Defold avoids the overhead that typically plagues modern engines. This makes it ideal choice for developers targeting mobile markets or web-based gaming platforms. Okay, so let's actually go to the website and check out Defold. So Defold, as you guys know, because it's open source, so usually what I do is I grab two sources. I usually grab the main site, and I'll show you GitHub where you can take a look at the code and you can grab the license. So let's go take a look at that. So it's defold.com, very simple. It's a game engine for high performance cross-platform games. It's free forever, production ready, source available. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes. So as you can see here, you can create just anything based on your imagination. See, it's very cross-platform with the major consoles, the major operating systems, including the mobile ones. So you can see here, it has all these tools here. I'm not even going to mention all of them. It take me quite a while. So there we go. Custom configuration, free forever. There's no upfront cost, no license fees, no royalties, no runtime fee. Free forever. That's what free forever stands for. That's what she said. Okay, I love that. Thank you. I can't even pronounce your name. Stylus to YouTube 9642. Production ready. We talked. So that means that it's proven track record of game releases on mobile, web, desktop, and consoles. Integrations, analytics, app economy, and game services available out of the box. Actively developed and that's important with a new release every month. Technical support contracts available if needed. Okay, so it's a piece of cake, as you can see here, and yeah, the blogs as well, so it's very well maintained. So now I'm going to take a look at the GitHub page here. Sorry, I was outside today for the first time since the incident with the chickens. So because it's been snowing every day, when I went outside there was about 1 foot of snow, so I had to clear about half of it. Then my neighbor was driving by and he came and helped me finish up the rest, so that was pretty nice of him. But I'm a little bit sore. So where was that here? Open source. So let's go check out here. I'm going to click on open source. You see here it says that yeah, the source available game engine with the developer friendly license derived from the popular Apache 2.0 license. License grants you freedom to develop games without worrying about licensing fees or royalties. So you can read the license more about that, and then the source is available on GitHub. So I'm going to click here to go to GitHub. Make sure you donate if you find this very useful. So as you can see here, 2 days ago, or I said last week, it's pretty well maintained. This is a GitHub page. It's just github.com/defold. Okay, and as you can see here, it explains everything here, so you can see, and complying with the licenses. Yeah, so you can go read the licenses there as well. And this is the language. Obviously it's the vast majority is C++, as Lua as we talked about, and some other language, I guess, for extensions or whatever people want. See, the stable one was released 3 weeks ago, so that's the one I because I downloaded this to make this tutorial, so I do have this one. So if we go to releases, you can get the alpha one. I don't recommend using alpha. Definitely maybe better, probably be okay, but if it's for production, definitely stick to a stable. Like you see this one, the stable is 1.12 or 1.12.1. This one I get. So you see there's different versions here. There's Mac OS, Linux, you have the 64-bit here, and one is zip, one is a tar zip, and Mac OS you have another one. One is for ARM. I think this is Apple Silicon, and this is for the Intel ones. And then for Windows, you have the 32-bit version of Windows. Well, actually surprised you have one for 32-bit version of Windows. Okay, so there's that one. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff here. See, for Linux and etc. as well. So just download the one that's suitable for your device or the workstation you're going to be working on. So as I said, I already downloaded. Obviously, I downloaded the tar zip. You see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unzip it. So I'm going to just right click here and where's decompress, extract to, or I can just double click it and it will do the same thing. We just extract, and so I'm on the GNOME desktop, GNOME 49. I'm using Fedora 43, so I can do that. I believe 42 could do the same thing. So inside here, the default folder or default, you see here we have the default package, the application, the config file. So you don't need to change anything. Just double click this and it'll open. So I'm going to take this out of here. It actually looks really nice. Unfortunately, it came on the other screen. Okay, so it's really fast. It went on the other screen, so I apologize you guys didn't see the opening animation is actually pretty cool. I think it's a skull. Okay, so this is the problem with this is one of the problems with Wayland. You see, this is not, I guess it's not Wayland ready, because I can't make this any smaller. Okay, there we go. That was weird. Okay, so is the menu too big? Okay, there we go. The menu is way too big, so I gotta make this shorter. Oh man, this is just pain. This is gonna be painful. Let me put it back here and see if I can make it shorter. Okay, there we go. Make it shorter first so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So you should be able to see this if you're on a vertical, if you're watching this live with a vertical screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, you see these templates. You can create something from a template. You see the templates are like the empty project, mobile game, desktop game, HTML5 game native extension and a basic 3D. So that's all up to you. And then there's also tutorials, as you can see here, and then there's samples. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use the template, and I'm going to pick this one, which is an empty project. So I'll just double click on that. See, it should load up very quickly. So down here it says what's the title. So I'm just going to put my first project. You obviously make it whatever you want, and then I'll click here, create new project, and you can see how quickly that is. That's way faster than, say, what is that bloated application, the Android Studio, right? So pretty fast here. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've opened up this one. Now let's just go over just a quick overview. So you have the panes. You have the pane here where on the left side, this one is your assets. So as you can see, it even says here assets. This is where the code and all that stuff you can preview. Think of it as a file manager. And then on the right, you have another pane where you have the outline. So for example, it will make more sense when we actually start doing something. Right now it's empty because we haven't done anything. So for example, when we actually start making things, they will come up here and you can have more options. And obviously in the middle here, it's the readme markdown file. So let me actually there we go. So you guys can see a little bit better. So this is where you'll be doing your working or your visual, whether it's playing the game or just a preview when you are dragging and dropping things just to see. So I don't need the welcome anymore, but I'm going to leave it there for now, just in case you guys want to read it. So now that this has been created, so what you do is in the assets folder here, you see there's my first project. That's the name we have. We have the input, we have main, and then you see by default it thinks you're going to use Git, which is perfectly fine. Obviously, I'm going to be working local. That's not for the purpose of this tutorial. By the way, if you need tutorials on Git, I have so many tutorials on Git, including deployment and all that. Just search for it on Ojambo. You can go to ojambo.com and also search there. There's lots of content. There's articles, and they said there's also videos. There's a lot. I did a lot last year. Oh, okay. I was like, so I'm expecting the farmer is going to come in a couple days to deliver stuff, because remember the car doesn't start. I think it's a bad gas. As I thought that was the propane, the propane supplier, because I said that for the past week I didn't clear the snow. Yeah, but I did it today, so they might show up as well. But they won't bother me. They just do their work and go. All right, so. And then obviously you have the usual menu, your file menu, the new, open, save, all the usual stuff, open projects. In the edit you have the undo, redo. In view you can toggle, see assets pane, change files, tools pane, properties pane, show console, curve editor, build errors and search results, and then project, build, clean, build HTML, the usual stuff you see in IDEs. The debug, start attach, open web profiler, rotated device, and help you have the about, and obviously search and reload, style sheet, the usual stuff, show logs, etc. All right, and down here in the footer you have this is the changed files. It's also in the left pane. In the middle pane we have the console, curve editor. We're not going to touch that today, or including the console, and that's it. And you can clear as well. So really nice IDE for this game engine. Okay, so with that said, let's actually get started again. So what you can do is, if you notice one thing interesting here, although this is the assets, we don't actually have an assets folder. We don't actually have an assets folder. For example, if we go to main, see that's there, input, there's nothing. We don't actually have an assets folder. So there's a couple ways you can do this. The first thing is you can so you can create an assets folder. So you might also add it a different way. You can simply just drag and drop your assets here, but it's always better to organize things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize this by creating a folder. So I'm going to pick on my project here, right click on it and click new folder, and I'm going to call it assets. Okay, so there's an assets folder here. Now you can drag and drop stuff into your assets folder. So let's see, that should work. Hopefully this works. Drag it into there. Yeah, there we go. So I've dragged it into our assets folder. So whatever asset you want, you can put it into your assets folder. You don't have to do this. Everything will still work, but I'm just saying, just for organization, it's just easier there because I'll know where the assets are. If I just put it in the root folder, I might forget or something like that. So I prefer to create a separate folder and dump whatever assets, whether it's audio, images, SVG files, etc. Dump all the, whether it's CSV files, JSON files, just dump everything in there. It's just easier. Okay, so now with that one, I put it here. Now, what I need to do is we need to go to the main. You see under main here, the main folder, there's something called main collection. So what you need to do is you need to double click on it. When you double click on it, then you see your workspace changes. You see here it says main collection. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to add our our sprite or whatever I call it into the game. So what we do is we go back to the assets folder here. Okay, and then we I just right click here, right click or middle mouse button, and then we go, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on new. We need to create an atlas. So we see new atlas. Click new atlas and give it a name. So the name here, I'm going to call it hero. Okay. And the location is perfectly fine there, and just click create atlas. Let me see here. So yeah, just create atlas, and you see now in our outline we have the atlas here. We're not done yet, so what we need to do is we can right click here. Make sure this is selected, right click here, and then you see down here it says add images. So click add images, and you see by default it's going to use this type of images, but you see it already found our assets folder, right? So I'm gonna use that one. You see they can also use some other ones as well, but I'm going to use that one. That's why I told you, if you arrange things properly, it makes things easier. So I'll just click that one, and I'm going to click OK. Okay, now you see, now we have our object onto our timeline. Okay, so all right, now make sure you hit save. Make sure you save your project. Yeah, always make sure you save your project. So now or you just make sure you hit save because you don't want to save sorry, just hit save or whatever, save, that's fine. So make sure you save your stuff, because now this has been very stable, it never crashed on me, but you never know with this type of application, especially for example, I'm a developer, so for example, even right now I'm running OBS. I have a whole bunch of web browser windows open. I have Z editor, I have the social ninja stream. I'm also multi-streaming as well. So my point is that even though you have a very powerful CPU and memory and etc., you never know. There could be a conflict or something, especially since I'm running Fedora, which sometimes has some bleeding edge packages. You just never know. So it's a good idea to save your work. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to back into our output plane here. What I need to do is I need to click back on our main collection here. Double click on it. You see here collection, there's nothing. So what I need to do here, I need to right click, and then this time I'm going to click on add a game object. And you see right now the game object, it says go. That's perfectly fine. So I just right click there, and then this time I'm going to add a component. a component, not component file, a component. And you see component, there's camera, there's this, but the one I want is sprite. So I'm going to pick sprite, and I've chosen a sprite here. And then in the properties, under the outline pane, in the properties here, what I need to do is I look for image. You see images right here, and you see there's a little drop down here. So what I do is I just click on that, and all in here. So I don't know why that is. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit bigger. Sometimes it's hard to see, but basically, yeah, this one is hard to see. So I'm gonna have to move this a little bit so you guys can see what's going on here. I have to make this a little bit bigger because it's kind of clipped off. Yeah, there we go. You see there's these 3 little dots. You click on those 3 little dots, and then you see here I pick my hero atlas. There we go. I picked my hero atlas here, and then in the properties pane, it sometimes asks you for the name of the image. So then what you do is you actually pick the name, you choose the names. For example, you call it the name of the image. So in this case, it's perfectly fine. That's our hero. Oh, this is the social ninja stream. Okay, so that's it. So we picked our sprite, and that's it. That's all we need to do. Now, let me make this back smaller. Put it back here. Okay, so there we go. Now, where is this guy? All right, now you see if I zoom in here, you see we have our guy right here, right? So I'm gonna build now. So I go to project menu and I hit build. I say, oh, default animation must be specified. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Don't worry. So so now what we need to do is I need to add a script, because right now it does absolutely nothing. So what I need to do is I need to go to make sure the image is still there. Yeah, the image is still there. So what I need to do is I want to make this move or do something. So what I need to do is I go back to my assets here, pane, and what I do is I will right click. I can do it, actually it's better to do it in main. In the main one here, I'm just gonna right click here and click new, and this time I'm gonna pick a script right there. And the name of the script, just call it player, create script. And you see there's a whole bunch of code here. We don't need any of that code. I don't know if I can zoom in here. Okay, I can zoom in. So I'm just going to delete all that stuff. I don't need it. I'm going to create my own code and I'll explain to you guys. Sorry, I can't zoom in here, or I don't know how to zoom. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, I can't zoom in anymore. I can zoom. No, I can't zoom in. Okay. So it's just a function update self underscore dt. That's for the arguments, and then load p, go get position, and then p dot x equals p dot x plus 200 times dt, and go set position. So that's it. That's all we need to do there. Okay. Then the player script is here. So all I need to do then is make sure everything is saved. I just press Ctrl S to save, or you can simply go to file menu and go to save all. Okay, so then you can obviously go back to the main collection here. You can double click on it, or you can simply just click out in the tab. That's all up to you. Okay, so when we're here, what I need to do is I need to add it as a component file. So in output, remember our output pane here. So now what I need to do is I need to right click and I need to add, where is the add? Excuse me. Go, oh no, I have to click, you have to click on go, then right click, and you see, now this time we're going to add a component file, not component, a component file. So component file, and you see there's only one there. It's our player script. So that's our player script there. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, and then that should be it. So now I should be able to build this, and let's go. You just go to project and you can build. It says default. Okay, it says default animation. Okay, so default animation. Oh, I guess I don't know if this is big enough. I don't know what is the default animation. I don't know what that must be a bug. I didn't have to put any animations before. I don't know why is that. I don't. Okay, you know what? Let me take this out because sometimes it's hard to when the screen is small. I'm gonna take it out to the bigger screen and see if I can see what's going on here. Default animation. Default animation must be specified. It doesn't let me pick anything. Okay, so let's see here in the main dependencies, openness. Just give me a second, I'm checking something. Must be specified. All right. Oh, it says you have to do it in the okay, so it says there's a JSON file. Check your entity. Okay, so let's do it. I didn't have to do this before, honestly, when I created the screenshot. Okay, so let's make this smaller. Make sure this okay, so right click on this. I'm wondering why that's. If I can, let me see if I can fetch. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, so I'm gonna check where the game is. I don't even know where, oh, I think the game must be in the home folder. Let's see that home folder. I forget, what did I call this? My first project. Okay, this one here. Okay, here the assets, everything is fine. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, maybe it's a hidden file. Hidden no and settings. Yeah, I do not know why it's saying that. It's I don't know why it's doing that. Must be a bug. I don't want to start again. Okay, let's power through. Hopefully, it says default animation. If you guys know what I'm doing wrong, let me know. Oh, you know what? I think it's my sprite here. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so the fix was this. The under the default animation, I had to pick so basically the default animation is I had to pick the logo blue, which was the name of the what do you call it, the name of the sprite name. So that should fix it. Now if I build, this should actually work. Yeah, there we go. So now it does build. So you see, that was it. So that was it. It was just a simple thing. I just yeah. So that was it. As I said, the problem was because when I'm working with such a small space, it's kind of hard to see all this stuff. So I should put this in my notes, and let me just prepare this and save. And so default animation. So basically, make sure. Let me actually make sure this is here. So oh no, this was that's not there. So default animation. There we go. Name of the yeah. So there we go. So that was it. Now, as you saw, we just added this script for the animation to go from left to right. But that's very useless for a game. Normally, you want to be able to control it. So that's what we're going to do next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the assets pane here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the input. So input here, you see it says game input binding. So I'm gonna double click on this, make this small again, and you can see here we have a whole bunch of options. So for example, it says key triggers. Make this a little bit small. Can make this bigger. I might have to. Yeah, we don't need to see that part. Here we go. I just need some space to work with. All right, so glare here. Okay, so for the key triggers here, we go to the key triggers. That's what we want. We're going to use the keyboard. So it says input. I'm going to pick. So I think I need to add an input. So it says space. So I want this to be left. So pick left. Where is left? I wonder if I can type L. No, I can't. This is the thing I dislike about this. I have to use the mouse to find left. I don't know where left. Oh, here we go. Here's left. So that's a left, and then the action. Was it here? So it's going to be left, and the action is going to be left. Oh, here we go. So this one, you just type left like lowercase if you want. That's it, just lowercase. Okay. We're going to add another one. I'm sure you guys can guess what that one is going to be. It's not going to be space, it's going to be right. So RRR right there, and then in the action field here, just type right. Right. Okay, so that's it. Make sure everything is saved again. So left, now we have the left input and right input, and then it just the action is left and right, but we need to create those actions. So what we do is we go back to our script, which was the player script here. Now I will show you the code. It's a very simple code here. Copy here, and so unfortunately I can't zoom in. I don't know the shortcut for zooming in. I'm trying Control++, it doesn't work. Holding out the control key, the mouse, none of them work. Okay, but basically what will happen is we're going to move left and right. That's all it's going to be. So if you remember before, it was moving from left to right. So basically when it finds the key, it will move. See right here, left. it's going to move left -1, and if you put right, it's going to go right left -1. Obviously, left is this way, and right +1 going this way. And this is the way this is the position it's going to update depending on the action. So this is the code snippet here. Unfortunately, I said I apologize. I can't zoom in. I can't zoom in to show you guys here. I don't know how to. Yeah, it probably has some weird shortcut key to zoom in, so I'm not sure. I tried holding down the control key and the shift key, neither work. Yeah, so I'm not able to zoom in, so I apologize for that. Hope you guys can see this. Just maybe freeze the screen, zoom in, and then you guys will see the code snippet. So with that, we are basically done there. So now I'm going to go back to the build, project build, and you see here, here's our guy. You see it's, now I'm going to use those keyboard shortcuts, and you guys should see it moving. So I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna go right. You see that's right. I'm just holding down the right key, and then obviously left. Obviously you can pick whatever keyboard shortcuts you want, just left and right. Okay, very fast, eh? I like that. I like very, very much. Now you can also add up and down if you want. If you want to also add up and down, you can do that as well. So I'm going to obviously we need to. So I'm going to change up the code a little bit here to add up and down as well. So it's the same. It's the same thing. This part doesn't change. It's just we just add more functionality for up and down. You see, up, left, right, up and down. Now we need to remember we need to go add those triggers. So first I'll save this, then I'll go back to the game input here, or you can simply just double click here in your assets folder. And so what we'll do is we'll need to add some more. So the first one we're going to add is up. Is up. U for up. Here we go up, and just type yeah, there we go, up will be action, and then the other one is down. D for down, and just type down in there, or whatever name you want. Make sure I spelled right. Yeah, so there we go. Save. Now all I need to do is I'm going to save and project build. Okay, so now I go up. There you see that's up, right, down, left. Yeah, so there we go. There we go. I'm just using the mouse now. So obviously, yeah, that's you guys can take. You know, you can you can go as much as you want. Now I've said this is just a quick introductory of the default game engine or game framework. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Like I could spend several hours. If you guys like this type of tutorials, let me know, because I can go a little bit more deep dive, not just in Defold and other game engines I've also reviewed. So, but I said this is just a great way to, if you're just a beginner. So you can see here in the console, it shows the output here. It says warnings here. Obviously, I don't have a gamepad. Actually, no, that's not true. I do have actually do have a gamepad. You know what's funny? I do have a gamepad that is actually from sometime, I think from like the 80s. That's crazy. I haven't used it. I haven't used it since the early 90s. That's so crazy. What is it here? What is it? Yeah, so you can see this warnings here for the console. We have the curve editor. You have the build errors. Obviously, I've not made a mistake. Thank goodness. And search results, and then you have the checkpoints if you're having problems with your code. All that is like a normal IDE. The only thing I said I couldn't figure out is how. Oh, you know, let me do a search. Maybe to help us here. Is there a search here? I want to search. Oh, that's issues. Oh, this one doesn't have a search where I can search to see. Is it? I don't think it has it. Yeah, I don't see it here. Toggle, there's just toggle stuff. It looks like they don't have a, because yeah, like to be able to zoom in to the code. That would make it so much better. At least scale it. Like dynamic zoom is what I'm saying. That's all I need. I don't need anything fancy. Just some dynamic zoom. Anyway, so that is basically it. Went over everything. I showed you the assets. I showed you the outline for the collection, the go properties, how to assign the image, and the viewport to move. Yes, it's and then what else? Manually, how to copy files. You saw I did a drag and drop, and we created the assets folder. I recommend you don't have to, but it's all. Once again, you don't have to create an assets folder. Obviously, you can just dump it anywhere you want. But I'm saying is creating an assets folder is pretty. It just keeps things better organized and for your game. So just a quick overview. This is the main collection. So we add everything to the viewport, if you will, or the here, so you can see what things look like. And then the game input binding. That's whether it's keys or your mouse or gamepad. That's where you put those things in. And then your assets here, you have to always create an atlas. In this case, I just create one very simple one just to show you how this works. Now, would I use this game engine? Yeah, absolutely. If I was doing something prototyping very quickly, I would absolutely use this this game engine. As you saw, it's very fast because it's C++. But the good thing about it is that building, as you saw, it takes like seconds, blink of an eye, right? It's not. That's one of the good things about modern game engines. It's very, very, very light. I'll show you how light it is by opening up my system monitor. I have a Ryzen 5 5600 GT. As you can see here, it's barely using anything. Now I said the reason this looks a little bit high is because so you can see it's not using the swap. That's always a good thing. And so here I'll put this here just to prove to you. I'm going to close it, and you'll see it won't make a difference here. In fact, if we go to processes, you see Java. I don't know what could be Java. I think this might be, what is it? What in the world is using Java? It's using Java? Really? Huh. Default is using Java. Okay, that's weird. So you can see I have all this stuff running. GNOME is obviously a memory hog. A bunch of Chromium, obviously tabs because I'm live streaming. And obviously I'm using OBS, it's another one, and LibreWolf, that's the one here, and Firefox. Yeah, so as you can see, okay, it does use 1.3 gigs. All right, so I'm gonna close it and see, but I'm saying it's pretty lightweight. So let's close it here. So let me see how much it's taking. About 30. Let's see if it's the one that's using Java. So I just closed it. And you see the CPU, actually they did go down. So it uses about 10%. So I have a 6-core, 12 threads. So it looks like it is about 10% of your CPU. So it's still pretty light. And the memory, yeah, it was using about 2 gigs. So yeah, for a game engine in 2026, that's considered lightweight. So yeah, I would say it is lightweight. So I'm gonna close that. So again, you can download. I don't recommend using alpha, downloading the alpha one. Just stick to the stable. It's pretty. You see, it just came out in just the second month of 2026, so that's perfect fine. Obviously, these guys are gonna be released hopefully soon, and you guys just be patient. Be patient. Okay, so then let's finish this tutorial up. What else is here to tell you? So Defold is a true cross-platform powerhouse. From a single code base, you can target iOS, Android, HTML5, macOS, Windows, Linux, and major console without significant architectural changes. The technical architecture uses the collection proxies for memory management. This gives you absolute control over asset loading, enabling seamless transitions and no loading screen experiences. By staying close to the metal, Defold avoids the overhead that typically plagues modern engines. This makes it ideal choice for developers targeting mobile markets or web-based gaming platforms. Okay, so I do have books available on Amazon. You can search for Edward Ojambo. The link is also in the description. I also have courses on OjamboShop.com. Just a heads up that OjamboShop.com is going to be revamped. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but yeah, I'm going to move away from the WooCommerce thing because it slows down the site and it's not very good. So I'll see what I'll do. I'll let you guys know what I decide to do with it. Okay, then there's also, if you need one-on-one tutorials, you can contact me at ojambo.com/contact, or if you need consultation services at ojamboservices.com/contact. I did revamp ojamboservices.com, as you guys saw that. I've actually forgot to segue into something which I will do, I guess, a little bit later. So stop fighting engine bloat and instant building optimized games. The industry standard is moving towards lean, efficient frameworks that respect the player's hardware. You experience faster build times and smaller project sizes. This data-driven approach is the secret to successful indie and professional game studio workflows. So I do have some resources. I am not simply just going to put them here. In fact, I'm going to show you that I do have dedicated websites for that. That's Idealum. If it spells right. Idealum. Come on. Idealum.store here. You see, I have this algorithmic serpent. In fact, I also have a copy of it right here. It's a psychological thriller. It's by me, the author, Edward Ojambo. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. This is the back. This is a novelette. It's mostly at cost, so pick it up if you have the means. I'll talk about the ebook version in a few minutes. Sorry. Then my greatest one is this one here. It's the Recession Business Blueprint. It's a guide to help you start a business during a recession. We're in a recession right now, so you learn things like how to budget. If you're lacking some skills, whether you should go back to school or for example, I went back to school, no shame, because I wasn't comfortable with my marketing skills, so I did go back to school for that. I went to college at Hamburg College, and then where you should run your business, because when I started my business, people were telling me I need to go rent, and I obviously I didn't have funds at that time, and I didn't feel like comfortable renting and just being in debt when I'm making no money, no customers, nothing. So when I went back to school, one of the reasons I chose that particular diploma was because it had placements at the end. Now the placements, I was hoping to make some money, but really what I wanted was to learn. So for example, lucky for me, in the downtown area, meaning I could walk to the place when I was living in Toronto, was a commercial realtor. So his business had been extremely successful, but I didn't realize we were in recession at that time in 2009. So what happened was he had to cut back. So he told me at one time he had like 15 employees. Now the only employee was him. So he had to do all this stuff himself. Like, for example, he had to write the contract himself. The only thing he still outsourced was accounting. But the point I'm trying to say is that was great learning for me, because I learned how to write contracts, how to drum up business, all that stuff I learned because of the placement from him. Obviously, also at the school as well, because all my professors, they were professionals. For example, in accounting class, it was an accountant. In the law classes, it was actually a lawyer. So my point is that I could learn from them, and the best thing is all of them except for two were people who had their own businesses, and they were just doing this teaching gig on the side. So what I'm trying to say is that I did learn a lot from them. Now, there are two people who didn't have their own businesses. They were not like self-employed or entrepreneurs. They worked for large companies. For example, one of them was a vice president of something called Future Shop. It was bought by Best Buy. Another one worked for Campbell's Soup, and he was the one where when they expanded into the States, he was actually the one who, he went down there and helped. So the point I'm trying to say is that those type, there was a lot of knowledge, right? And I'm saying that I soaked it all up. So that's what I'm saying, that sometimes if you're lacking something, that's actually, especially if you acknowledge it, that will help you become successful. So that's a Research and Business Blueprint. You can pick it up on Amazon. Now, I also have a service I started up. I don't have official name for it yet, but I just call it temp mail, temporary email. So basically what it is, sometimes when you sign up for a service, whatever, they want to get your personal information and you don't feel comfortable sharing, not because they're shady, but you just don't want people to have your information, because even if they say, we'll never use it, that's always a lie. For example, I signed up for eBay and all these other services. We'll never contact you. We'll never use your phone number. We'll never use whatever. That's BS, because now automatically when I go there, the first thing they do is they just send me a text message saying, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I never signed up for that. You see my point? So this is why you can use a temporary email like this one. So you can extend up to 3 times. But basically is, if you're done, let's say you give whatever, you use this, the emails will appear here. It's all in memory. Nothing is stored on the server. There's no logs. So what happens is, I'll tell you what happens after 5 minutes or 20 minutes, depending if you extend it or not. If you refresh, look at this. You see it says 9N59. If I refresh, you see it's changed. So it's gone. I would say there's no logs, nothing as well. So so this all runs in memory on the server side. So yeah, so you can use this service. So it's idealem.space. Ideal, IDELEM.space. All right, then I've talked about the recommended resources. If you want to know more about me, I'm a software engineer, an author, and hopefully this year I'll be an influencer. My book page on Amazon, and then my if you need consultation service, OjamboService.com, and then if you're ready to learn, OjamboShop.com for the online courses. I have a comment form here which says about 14 days after this after the article goes live, so you can post things. For example, today's topic, we talked about Defold, we talked about game framework, and obviously it's cross-platform, open source. All those things are perfectly fine to put in the comment section. But if you want to contact me, the best way to contact me is use the contact forms, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboservices.com/contact, and ojamboshop.com/contact. And then if you want to follow me, these are all the channels: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch, which I live stream to right now. Okay, now I also like to remind you that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. The more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers. They join this growing community, they post their tips and tricks, or they can post requests, which I'll personally review and then I'll share with everyone. I'd like to thank everybody subscribed so far this month. There's still 2 more days to go. Keep it up, and let's see if we can break another record. All right, now I'm going to put on the outro, which is the same thing as the intro. And remind you that if you want to see what's upcoming, you simply go to ojambo.com, you click the watch menu, live summary. You can see we just finished this review of the Defold game framework, and then tomorrow we're going to review this restreamer. For example, I do multi-stream and I use FFmpeg, but if you don't want to go down to the command line, I know a lot of guys don't like the command line and all that kind of stuff. So I do it because I want performance. I want to eke out every single performance I can. But if you want something that's easier for you, just click and set it and forget it. You can use this restreamer, and I'll show you how to install it very, very quickly and get up and running. And then after that, we're going to do something again with the Raspberry Pi Zero. Oh, you guys are going to absolutely love. You're gonna be loving this Raspberry Pi stuff. Yeah, I am able to do stuff on this the Raspberry Pi 0W, the initial one. So you guys are gonna love that one. And then after that, another one you guys, I'm sure 100%. I don't bet, but if I was a betting person, you guys are gonna love this one as well. Where we're gonna do a procedural animation in Blender using the amateurs, using local AI. So we're not gonna do any coding. It's gonna let the AI take care of it. And then after that, I'll show you how to create a home lab. or home. It's I believe it's AdGuard, paperless NGX, and I forget what the other one is. Paperless NGX, AdGuard, and I don't remember what the other one was. But yeah, let's actually go read it. Let me see if it'll say here. Oh yeah, Vault Warden. Okay, so that's it. I was checking the live chat, and besides Zelus YouTube 9642 said that's what she said. Lol. Okay, and the usual spam from Kick. I think OjamboShop top viewers. Another spam from Kick as well. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thanks again. Have a great day. Where's the mouse?